He spied on America for Israel, spent 30 years in a US prison, and now he wants a seat in the Israeli parliament. Jonathan Pollard is running for the Knesset, and his opening position on Gaza is forced removal of every single resident. A convicted spy, an extreme agenda. Israeli politics just got stranger. A controversial figure in US-Israel intelligence history is now stepping into Israeli politics with an openly hardline agenda. According to The Guardian, Jonathan Pollard, who served 30 years in a US prison for espionage, has announced plans to run for the Knesset this year. In an interview with Israel's Channel 13, Pollard outlined an extreme position on Gaza.
I personally prefer the forcible removal of all current residents of Gaza and the annexation of Gaza and its repopulation by us.
Pollard said his decision to enter politics was shaped by the October 7th Hamas attack, which killed nearly 1,200 people and exposed what he sees as systemic failures within Israel's leadership.
Well, it was a decision that was made shortly after October 7th. Before October 7th, I actually thought that my betrayal and abandonment by the Israeli government and intelligence community was an exception to the rule. But after October 7th, I suddenly realized that the government and military and intelligence community here in Israel had abandoned the entire country. And at that point, I just said, no more. And I decided at that point to enter politics.
Pollard's past remains deeply contentious. Arrested in 1985, he passed large volumes of classified US military intelligence to Israel in exchange for money and valuables. Pollard pleaded guilty in 1986 and was sentenced in 1987, eventually serving 3 decades behind bars before his release in 2015. Despite once being championed by Israeli leadership, including Benjamin Netanyahu, Pollard is now a vocal critic of the Prime Minister's wartime leadership.
Look, I'm not telling you anything you don't know. I have major problems with Bibi. First and foremost is his refusal to accept responsibility, his responsibility for what happened in October 7th. Second of all, I've been completely dissatisfied with his management of the war, not just against Iran, but against Hezbollah, Hamas, and the Houthis, and our own domestic terrorists. He has not fought these wars, these multi-front wars, decisively. He has not shown any ability to wage decisive warfare.
Pollard is expected to run under a new political formation, Orot Hashachar, aligned with right-wing consolidation efforts. Outlining the party's objective, he said,
So Orot Hashachar, the party that I joined, is principally focused on uniting the right and presenting a unified right wing to the voters in the next election. So there are many, unfortunately, or fortunately, who can't vote for the legacy parties. So we hope to be able to become a home for them, so we won't lose their votes.
Whether Orot Hashachar clears the electoral threshold or not, Pollard's platform, annexation, forced displacement, and a right redrawn around Gaza reflects a current of Israeli public opinion that mainstream parties can no longer afford to ignore. Israel's political landscape is rapidly consolidating ahead of the next Knesset elections, as former Prime Ministers Naftali Bennett and Yair Lapid announce a joint electoral list, triggering fierce backlash from Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu and his allies. The new alliance, branded Together, led by Bennett, unites Bennett's 2026 platform with Lapid's Yesh Atid, aiming to consolidate anti-Netanyahu votes ahead of elections expected by October. But within hours, Netanyahu responded in an ex-post with a sharply critical campaign video referencing the pair's 2021 coalition with Mansour Abbas. The caption read,
"They did it once, they will do it again."
The ruling Likud party escalated the rhetoric further, posting AI-generated imagery portraying Abbas as controlling the alliance.
Even together, it's clear the driver is Mansour, no matter how the left divides its votes. In any case, Bennett and Lapid will go again with the Muslim Brotherhood, the terror supporters.
Former Israeli Prime Minister Naftali Bennett and opposition leader Yair Lapid are positioning the new alliance as a decisive bid to reshape Israel's leadership in the post-Netanyahu era. Speaking at a joint press conference at the Dan Acadia Hotel in Herzliya, Bennett said,
"I am happy to announce to you that tonight, together with my friend Yair Lapid, I am doing the most Zionist and most patriotic act we have ever done for our country. Tonight we are uniting and forming the Together Party, leading a party that will lead to a great victory and the opening of a new era for our good country. Lapid and I have different opinions on a variety of issues, and we do not hide it. On the contrary, we are proud of it. I am proud that two leaders with different opinions can fight together for the benefit of the people of Israel, just as our sons, our soldiers, fight shoulder to shoulder."
Bennett presented the alliance as a message of national unity, arguing that the era of division is over.
The unity between us is a message to the entire people of Israel. The era of division is over. The era of repair has arrived. When we work together, we win in the government of change under my leadership. After 30 years of Netanyahu, it is time to part ways with him and take the country onto a new page, a new chapter, and that is what we will do.
Outlining future plans, Bennett said a new government under his leadership would establish a state commission of inquiry into the October attacks.
On the first day of a new government led by me, we will establish a state commission of inquiry into the October massacre to bring truth to the families and answers to all the people of Israel.
Lapid, the current opposition leader, urged the Israeli center to rally behind Bennett, characterizing him as a law-abiding alternative to the current leadership.
In order to win the elections, the entire Israeli center must rally behind Naftali Bennett. Bennett is a clear right-wing figure, but he is a liberal, decent, law-abiding right who did not sell his values to either ultra-Orthodox extortion or corruption.
The alliance aims to attract 80% of the electorate, with Lapid stating that their coalition would explicitly exclude political extremists and those who evade military conscription.
And at this moment, we have expanded our target audience to 80% of the citizens of the State of Israel. Only draft evaders and extremists are not invited. Everyone else is part of the target audience of this alliance.
Right-wing ministers echoed the criticism. National Security Minister Itamar Ben-Gvir accused the alliance of aligning with Islamist forces, while Finance Minister Bezalel Smotrich dismissed it outright as political maneuvering.
I'm not telling the left how to split their votes. This is the Abbas Servant Alliance.
Economy Minister Nir Barkat questioned Bennett's credibility. In an ex-post, he said,
"There's no meaning to what Bennett says. He is an unreliable person. He went against what our camp thinks, relied on Mansour Abbas, and sold himself out just to lead."
Despite the backlash, opposition figures rallied behind the move. Former IDF chief Gadi Eisenkot framed the alliance as essential for electoral victory.
"I see Naftali Bennett and Yair Lapid as partners and will continue to do, with responsibility and wisdom, what is right to achieve the victory and the change needed for the State of Israel. Fixing Israel is the mission of my life, and I am determined to fulfill it."
Similarly, Benny Gantz called for broader national unity. Only a broad Zionist unity government will ensure that, which will isolate the extremists and advance Israel forward, and not a government that relies on extremists or on non-Zionist parties. And that, only blue and white promises. Member of the Israeli Knesset and former Deputy Prime Minister Avigdor Lieberman underscored the strategic objective.
"We must remember that the goal is to replace the government of October 7th.
Bennett and Lapid worked together in 2021-2022 when they led a short-lived, diverse coalition of right-wing, centrist and left-wing parties, along with the Arab party Rayam. Their new union will not officially merge their respective factions into one party, but will produce a united list in the upcoming election, scheduled for no later than the end of October. Meanwhile, a recent Maariv poll showed Bennett's party neck and neck with Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu's Likud with 24 Knesset seats, while Yesh Atid received 7, and Eisenkot's Yasha garnered 12. With alliances hardening and rhetoric intensifying, Israel's upcoming election is shaping into a decisive contest. The Bennett-Lapid gamble may unify opposition forces, but it has also triggered a high-stakes political counteroffensive from Netanyahu's camp, setting the stage for one of the most consequential elections in recent Israeli history.